I don't do a lot of content with the guys. As I call them, the banana hammocks and board shorts, because they always get the money and the attention. I don't do much content on. I've done a couple interviews. I even just was a week ago. I got to interview my first wellness competitor. I've interviewed some ladies, wellness pro. I some ladies who do double dip both from wellness and bikinis, amateurs, and I've interviewed a couple of bikini competitors as pros. But with y'all ladies, it's a lot to this sport,
Yes.
in the expense and the cost and that goes into it. And one thing I wish, like, the prize money was a little better. I think a lady who I know, I met her a while back. She competed at the Atlanta. She's third. I think she got $1,000 for, I think, third place, Melissa Guerrero, and $4,000 for wellness. But then you got to look at it. You ladies walking away with $2,000, $3,000 a show, and that's just barely cover your cost.
I said that as well. When I saw what Mr. Olympia got versus what Miss Olympia got. But I you have to remember, this is, again, there's a lot that goes behind it. There's a lot of reasons behind it. It was originally an all male sport before, you had the Linda Murray, to come in and bring the forefront to the women, and being, very proud in the building of bodybuilding for women. And so, the more and more, I think the longer we continue to fight for just that and come and show that, listen, we can do the same things. We can come out here and give you a great show just like the men, right? And we understand the dynamics of bodybuilding, but I have a lot to say when it comes to women's rights, women's stigmas, the things that go along with it. But you have so many men that say, well, we do too. We are too. And I get it. I don't take anything from that. I respect men and what they do, the responsibilities of it. But, we women too, we work hard. There are some of us who truly deserve that same amount of accolade and attention. And it's not like we're trying to take the shine from you. We're not trying to do your job. We're not trying to become Mr. Olympia. We still want to become Miss Olympia, but with the same benefits. So that's a sensitive topic. I won't dig too deep in, but yeah, it is definitely a costly job. But I start saving, right at the end of my season. I start putting money away so that I don't have to borrow or do a fundraiser. I don't have to do any of that. So I just start saving my little money, work hard with my clients, and being able to pay for things as I go. I identify the shows, how much it's going to cost me, what do I need. I usually wear my suits maybe twice, maybe 3 times, if that. I usually don't like to show the same suit based on how I show up. And, the suits are even expensive. Our suits run, roughly around 8 to some will get a 5,000 one, but I don't. My most expensive has been 1,200. But yeah, so just depends. But I start saving to do this, and because it's an investment in yourself. If you really want to get into bodybuilding, you have to pay for the sport. And so I just save and work hard throughout the years. So when it comes time for my first show, again, I ain't got a big borrow, steal, ask, sell nothing, do nothing strange for no change, and we go from there.
Yeah, I understand. Like, you don't want to, beg from Peter to borrow from Paul,
Right? I don't want
and
Rob Peter to
yeah,
pay Paul. I don't want to do that.
yeah. And I know a lot of ladies that do the GoFundmes, because some it's a hit or miss with that. Because
Some
I'm doing a
competitors,
go yeah,
yeah.
'cause I'm doing a GoFundMe because I'm thinking about going to another show. I'm thinking about going to Atlanta because my oldest niece, she lives up there. I can stay with her, save me the cost of she can come get her old uncle. Because when I missed my train back to North Carolina for Savannah, she lives in Atlanta. She came like 3 miles, come pick me up, her old uncle, and take me
That,
back home. I appreciate that. She told me I could stay with her. That saved me cost of a hotel and saved me cost of ticket, because she comes down here about every other month or so, check out her mother, my sister,
awesome.
and I just say, what, let me do a GoFundMe. See, I might get a few bucks. He will follow me. Help me out. I'm trying to save a little bit. I got a car in the shop right now. It's been in the car shop for most of the first of the year. I want to get it back, but the guy keeps saying he has problems with it. I live in the country. I need a car, but it can't even back up anymore. So I just got to park in a certain way so I can move out. But yeah, that's the thing, is you have to sit down and say, like, what do I need? Most definitely need your food. Most of you need this. You got to pay your coach. You got to sit down. You got to sit down and write down everything you need and make sure you have enough. If you can save a little to the side for your necessities, especially for your posing suit, your hair, your makeup, your jewelry, the tanning, everything that's part of the process. One thing I wish that more sponsors step up and sponsor you athletes. I know everybody's gonna go with the Sarah Vilgas because well, Sarah, she's just pretty good. She flies a year jet every year to the Olympia. Um, you know, I would say sponsorship would help, but most of these companies gonna go with the yeah with the bikini wellness because it's so cute and petite, yeah.
No, it's
And
hard. They want you to have a good following. That's why social media is important. They want you to have a good following. They want you to have over, 175,000 followers. They want you to have this. They want you to have that. And it's difficult to get sponsorships. I've applied for quite a few of them. I don't qualify because I'm not popular enough. I don't have enough following. I didn't do too well in the show. I was taking call outs. I don't look good to be on the platform. So, it's a little intimidating. And then also too, when you put your links down in social media, they'll flag them. Social media is against you too at times, because when you start putting your links and saying, hey, if you want this, use this code, use that, they'll drop down your views, they'll do this, they'll do that. So I mean, it's difficult. For me, I'm like this: you want to sponsor me, you see me, you come for me. I'll keep applying. You know what I mean? Because in all honesty, the deal is, if they want you, they're going to come after you. I mean, you say, hey, you look great. I love your social media presence. I love what you're doing. And we would like to offer you. And I don't want to sound bougie. I'm not. But if you keep showing up and you're doing this, oh, we give you 10% off, you make no commission. Oh, we'll give you 3% off, no commission. And it's like, they want your notoriety. They want you to sell their product. And you're like begging them for that sponsorship. You got to do all types of stuff. You know, I would love them, and I'm going to do my best whenever I do get a sponsorship. But, if you want me and you see me, let's go for it. I'll be the best ambassador you have.
that's the thing is that's good that you. But sometimes you get these guys like, "Hey, Nisi, I saw your last interview. If I do something for you, no, those guys you don't want. You want someone that says, um, Coach Ewing, we are interested in you. We like your passion. We like the person you are. You serve your country. You're a mother. You're a coach and a friend. And we generally want people like you. I know everybody wants to go who's popular, but we respect who you are as a woman, as an athlete. As they say, you have your boots in the ground, 10 toes down. And this is what we need in the sport. We're not gonna. Some of these people they buy their followers. That's not
Yeah,
the
and I don't
same
want to
as
do that. I want them organically, so that they
yeah.
actually enter, that they like the content. Again, I'm very, very popular on TikTok. My clients there love me. And the deal is that I'm just authentic. I can have the same. I usually have around 30 to about 70 in my room every single day, and usually they're the same people. But I've got over 20,000 followers and supporters there. That I don't like the word followers. I like supporters. That's what they are. And we have a good time teaching classes, doing our fitness, and answering questions, because I'm a human. And so it's not just a poster. I don't want to feed into your feelings. I don't want to feed into that social media, having to give you a sob story every time I come up there. No, I want to be who I am, authentic. And that's the reason why, when I go there, they support me to no end because of that purpose. I'm just who I am, authentically 100 me, 100% every single day. I show up as myself, and that's good enough for them. I don't come as anybody else. And
Hmm.
I don't try to imitate that. I don't play on their feelings, what their desires are. And I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I believe in just showing up as myself. And if you like me for that, boom, we're doing good.
Yeah, best way to quote the great late Barry Mack: if people don't like who you are, fuck them. That's it. That's the best quote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll go with that.
Yeah. Here we got a comment from man. Shout out to my man. Clarence. He says this. He says, "I'm originally from Texas, but now I live in New Jersey." He also says, he says, "I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan too, Nisi, so no problems here, my sister." Thank you, brother. I'm not a fan of them, so I'm not. I just say, but make he says, I says I don't watch football since the Super Bowl of last year. Yeah, that's your choice. Also, We have here from my man Clarence says, I grew up with the great legends Sergio Olivia, Frank Zane, Lee Barada, uh, Bob Paris, Robbie Robinson, Franco
Yep.
Colombo, Lou Ferrigno, Arlu, Arlu. That's from the Pumping Iron, and also Lee Haney, Mr. Eight time, Mr. Olympia. Yeah, I grew up watching some of those guys, Lee Haney, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Arnold, and another. I like all the movies, but I don't like him as per se what he's done, especially against women's bodybuilding. He does not have women's bodybuilding physique or figure eight shows. Not a fan of that. I still like his movies, but I don't like him. Where I heard stuff from him from people doing this content, he's an asshole. So let's move up with that. Also, this is from my man Clarence. He says, the women's bodybuilders I saw and was impressed back in the day that I remembered was Corey Everson, Angela Langer, Jackie Presley, Beth Francis, Linda Murray, uh, Ray Hollett, and Sheely Beatty. Yeah, I remember those ladies.
So,
The
yep,
late
I
Sheely
remember them
Beatty, she
too.
passed away. Beth
Beautiful.
Francis, can't forget Carla Dunlap, can't forget one of my favorites is Vicky Gates. Laura Craven. They were so beautiful. Me, I like to say, I love my black women with muscle. Y'all just beautiful. He's just beautiful. He just sometimes you bring that guy out of me. He can't help himself. He's so large. He's like a dog chasing cars. You'll never know what to do if you catch one. And before I leave, I want to tell you something. You are beautiful. I'm sorry, he had to come out. He was begging to come out. You can let your eyes go. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. He was begging to come out. He had to come. I don't mean to scare, but he's a part of me. He completes me. But yeah, there's a lot to the sport that people need to understand. There's a little for I would say like this, not as much reward as it is risk. And I would say like this: IFBB and NPC should support their athletes. We don't come to see, who's the judge, who's the promoter. We don't come see Bob Ciccarello, or I call him Bobby Chick. We don't come to see them. We come see y'all.
Hmm.
And I think there should be more incentive. Like I said again, you got to pay $200 a year for a pro card every
No,
year just to be
no,
new.
three. It's 300.
What three? My
Yeah.
man just got his. He got his. His was I think maybe because he's been in the game longer. His was 275. What?
No, mine was
Dang.
300.
Then if you do masters, you got paid for that. I'm
Yes.
talking to a friend of mine. She's planning on doing masters, so she do the try to get to the Masters Olympia. I mean,
My goal
I
is to do masters, but yes, masters you have to pay for the shows for when you do masters. If you do open, it's free. But yeah,
mhm. Yeah, because I know some ladies who can double it. You can cross over from physique to women's bodybuilding, in masters. That's easy because you're paying for that division. You know, um, I would say this: if this is one thing IBB should do, NPC should do for their athletes, especially amateurs, have some kind of incentive for y'all. Like, okay,
for sure. For especially for amateurs, yeah.
like, okay, if something happens, you have like as an amateur, you get your money back if you do a regional show that helps you out,
Yes,
because you paid your interest fee.
I,
Benefits and stuff like anything, even though this is not like a mainstream sport, like professional athletes, they have a union, and that's the thing is people don't want to. You get union change, I don't think, but that thing you get together, you sit down with the owners, with the competitors, with the judges, and see where you want to go with the sport. Get everybody's point of view, because everybody's involved in this building this sport. We want to hear suggestions, we want to hear ideas, we want to get back and forth and also benefits like you have a son, you never know somebody happening with you, you might need to take care of him when you're not in good
oh
shape
yeah.
condition. There's things that need, because like I said again, you are an athlete. It's not like it's not the same if you were like playing in the NFL or playing in the WNBA or playing soccer, but still. And one thing I wish could happen, if more of the mainstream companies will get involved with, but they're always going to use that excuse of steroids. But you're a sponsor an athlete, who's using steroids, but because you can turn that blind eye to athlete because it's so more obvious to see it with bodybuilding is and with other sports. But
Mhm.
you can't tell the difference sometimes. It's just about what you take and how you use.
Yep. And so but here's where I'll say this. It's just like if you look at college athletes are just now getting paid, right? Of course, football players, they're just now being able to get funded or get incentive. But let's use back when I was in college. college athletes that didn't get paid. We played sports for free. Everybody come out. Don't matter if we had a full stadium, a full gym, whether we had a full coliseum, wherever we were playing. CIAA, MEAC, SWAC, all of that. We would, no matter, we didn't get paid for it, right? And so I think that with any sport, there has to be a level of work, hard work. And that's one of the reasons why, you have to put in the work for those incentives. You got to invest in yourself to get on stage. And they want to see what that looks like. Now, that's the reason why we do get certain incentives as a pro. You do get to come to the shows for free. You can do as many as you want. If you want to do masters, and that's when you pay, right? Because now you're in two categories. I think, which is fair. You pay now a little bit more for your pro card. In addition to that, the financial incentive at the end. So I look at it like this: every sport has to start from somewhere. And if you want to, and I think they also recognize that there are people who get on stage one time. I've seen it. I went to a show before I turned pro, and this lady got on stage, and it was nothing but a get back at her husband because she found him with the nanny. That's all. She made this big transformation, hired a coach. And the only reason why she got on stage, look, I mean, she looked great. She won. She did amazing, but she never did it again. Never again. So she had to won that incentive, won that spot in nationals. She would have taken it from somebody, with an incentive, giving money to someone. But the only reason when they asked her, "How do you feel?" and she said her husband's name on stage and said, "How do you feel now, buddy?" Like and he was like, "What do you mean?" "I found my husband with the nanny." That was her only reason, and she looked darn good. And so I think that they recognize that there is some vanity pieces also in bodybuilding where people said, "Oh, I just want to lose weight. Oh, I just want to change my life. I just want to get on stage one time. This has always been a dream." It's not a real sport for some people. They're utilizing it for their vanity. "Oh, I want to get real small and skinny, and I want to see how small I can get." They're not doing it for the competitive side. And so I think if you're going to invest, you're going to put yourself through this. They really want to see what you're going to put in. And I think it's fair. You understand what I'm saying? I think it's fair, to some extent, that you got to put in the work and you got to show that you really want to be there. I agree with the incentives, maybe a little bit more that they could do for NPC, but you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work to show that you want to be pro. You got to be willing to, to go further and do what you need to do. So yeah.
Yeah, because I understand. Yeah, I said it because some of they do this for the love of it. But I think, like I said, maybe I think if there was a little bit more love for them, as much as they put love in it, I think it's fair. So yeah, we have a comment here from a man. Warrior, sorry, K. Ellie says 300 for a pro car. That's nearly my paycheck. Yeah, that's not getting you paid much. And also, he says I couldn't be a bodybuilder. Do you ever educate regular people who doesn't know about bodybuilding.
Oh yeah.
He needs,
Oh yeah, absolutely. My clients go on the journey with me. Every show they go on the journey with me. They see my good, my bad, my ups, my downs. They're part of my journey. They see the foods that I'm eating consistently. They see how my body's changing because my clients will say, "Coach, you're getting real small over there." They'll tell me they know when peak week is coming. So yes, I do educate my clients who are not bodybuilders on my journey. I take them from beginning to end. Now, there are some who are not interested. I have my own personal app and where I bring all my clients in. And I ask who wants to be a part of that journey, who wants to see me go through the process, who wants to see my check-in photos. I show them that process of what my body looks like, and I take them through that step by step. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good thing. You like to know which because, like I said, some people don't understand this sport, and sometimes I've had ladies tell me they lost friendships, family. Especially if your mother say, "Sweetheart, I don't want you to get so muscular like a man. I had a
Oh, mama
little
tells me that all
girl."
the time.
Yeah, I know. Lady I interviewed a while back. Her mother, they don't talk about the vitamin stuff. Her dad would come to show, root for her. Her mother's like, she's like, "Darling, I want you to be happy, be married, yeah, yeah, yeah. But you gotta live your life for yourself. You can never live for somebody else. That's the thing is, that's the problem is that was the problem with that lady. She should live her life for herself. Enjoy the process.
Oh,
Enjoy
absolutely. Not be
competing. You
stressful.
know, forget him. If he's gonna sleep with some girl, we probably end up, jumping on some dude who looks like Tyson Beckford and leaving you. That's on you. You stupid. Sometimes these young girls, hey, yeah, you better stick with the woman that took you to the game. Here we got here from my man Kale. He says WNBA don't get much either. Look at Angel Reese. She isn't happy with what she gets in her salary. The thing with that is that it's sponsors. Most of these athletes, like Michael Jordan, he made his money more from his sponsorships, from like with Gatorade and Ballpark and Hanes like that. And that's why some ladies in WA will go play overseas.
That's right.
And,
Because they
and
make
people
more money.
don't, yeah, and people don't watch women's basketball as much as men because it's not as, the women do a pretty good job. I couldn't hang with them, but it's just not as entertaining compared to men. That's the thing. But I would say like this: they can break them up a little bit. It doesn't hurt. It helps them, get them up a little bit. So, folks, we're not going to hold the coach too long. I know she's a busy lady. She got a busy day. So that. I enjoy she take out time and talk with me. I enjoyed when I talked to a woman like this who's very passionate,